First of all, I'd like to give a big thanks to Carmel's IB program, both the students and the teachers who I know have put a lot of work into organizing this event. Now I'd like to give a small disclaimer. I'm no professional psychologist or philosopher. I'm just a fellow IB student who has a few ideas that I'd like to share with you all. We, us human beings, have special abilities shared by no other creatures on Earth. We think better, we create better, we feel better, and we connect better. Now, why do we connect better? If you really break it down and think about it, it kind of seems like a mystery why we would have this special ability to create stronger bonds than any other living being on Earth. But alas, we do. We have deep friendships. We tend to marry one person and stay with them for our entire lives. And we feel compassion for our fellow beings. Again, why is that? Well, I may not be a professional psychologist or philosopher or anything for that matter, but I can share my deepest insights into the human connection by revealing my thoughts on love, a subject that has intrigued me for my entire life. Now, to get across my ideas, I'd like to present a few of the habits of the mind that this event is based on. These habits are thinking interdependently, listening with understanding and empathy, and responding with wonderment and awe. While I do believe that there are some other animals out there who do think interdependently and listen with understanding and empathy to a certain extent, it's my belief that we're on another level and that we do respond with wonderment and awe, and that we combine these three habits into one habit that I would say is almost a 17th habit, and that is the human habit of love. So to start, let's go through these three habits. I'll try to explain what they mean and how they work together to create this 17th habit. First is thinking interdependently. This is basically our ability to work together and accept other people's ideas. This is the key to many of our technological advancements as a species. Think about it. Language, roads, tools, and so many other human inventions couldn't have happened without our ability to think interdependently. But it's also a large part of love. If we couldn't work together and if we couldn't accept other people's ideas, how could we possibly love? And beyond that, I think that we can all agree that trust is an essential part of any relationship. You must trust to have a relationship with a person, and trust is also a large part of what thinking interdependently is. It is trusting another person and their ideas in a mutually dependent manner. So, while this is a beautiful trait that us humans possess, research does show that other animals possess this as well. Chimpanzees, for example, are known to work together towards common goals and understand to a certain extent the thoughts of fellow chimps. One experiment in particular was used to prove this cooperation between chimpanzees. In the experiment designed by Satoshi Hirata, a Japanese scientist, two chimps were put into a compound, and one was allowed to see a banana being hidden while the other was not. This was done to the two chimps every day for several days, and each day, the chimps and their tactics advanced. After a few days, a detailed analysis was done of the chimps' progress, and it was found that they had to be thinking interdependently. So, despite the fact that this evidence suggests we are not unique in our ability to think interdependently, it is my belief that we are unique in the way that we use this ability. While the chimps may be able to find bananas using this trait, we, us humans, use this trait for better deeds. We use it to actually help each other and to understand each other's needs with this habit of the mind. Next is listening with understanding and empathy. I can tell you right now that any relationship will go nowhere without this. Whether that relationship be a brotherly bond, a marriage, a casual acquaintanceship, it doesn't matter. They all require listening, understanding, and empathy. In fact, I believe that empathy is one of the most important parts of the human connection. Empathy is the ability to understand and even identify with another person's feelings or personal struggles. This is what makes us able to feel a connection with anyone, regardless of race, age, gender, or social status. It's a true connecting force between all people, and a truly beautiful ability us humans have. Luckily, this is a habit our mind tends to utilize naturally. But I also believe that this is something that we must practice as people. It can be quite easy to think only of oneself and to push all of this listening and understanding stuff out the window. But this is a tendency that we must overcome. Empathy is both a gift that we naturally learn and use, but it's also a skill that we can continually improve upon and hone through focus, self-discipline, and practice. Finally, we have responding with wonderment and awe. The world is a beautiful place, but perhaps more importantly, human beings are an absolutely amazing species. We can look at, say, a waterfall like Angel Falls and think to ourselves, wow, that is incredible. But a lot of people today lack that kind of appreciation for our fellow human beings. I mean, I'm looking out at all of you, a room full of people, each of you being unique and incredible in some way, and I just know those two things for a fact. But a lot of people today lack that kind of appreciation. We're all capable of this appreciation. It's one of the habits for crying out loud. It's just a matter of allowing the habit to be in control. A matter of opening your eyes to the beauty that surrounds you every day. Once you do open your eyes, I promise you that not only will you feel better, but your fellow people, the people that are around you, will feel your appreciation. And in this way, you can create a domino effect. You start loving and appreciating your neighbor, and then he'll start loving and appreciating his, and she'll start loving and appreciating hers, and that'll go on. Now, I know we don't live in a perfect world, and some people might have trouble falling into this domino effect, but I can promise you right now that it won't hurt anyone for you to try this out, for you to start truly appreciating the awe-inspiring nature of your fellow human beings. Okay, so now that I've introduced the 3 habits that allow us to have a special bond, I'd like to better explain what exactly that bond is. And I believe that love is the word that best describes this bond. In fact, love is exactly what I'm talking about. But I want to give all of you a little better understanding of what love is. I think that the first, most important thing you need to realize is that there's 2 main types of love. There's romantic love, and then there's the more general love that we can feel for anyone. I think that both of these are very important, and both deserve a full explanation. Romantic love should be obvious. It's probably the first thing many of you thought of when I said the word love. It's portrayed in movies, books, stories. It's everywhere. It's even felt in its simplest and most naive form by young grade school kids when they have their first crushes. But I think there are a lot of misconceptions and misinterpretations of what true romantic love is. So I'll break it down for you. I think that one good way to break down romantic love is from the Old Testament, the Hebrew faith, and it's taught in this book, Song of Songs. In this book, there are 3 Hebrew words which all translate to love in English, but which all mean slightly different things. These 3 words are raya, ahava, and dod. While it may be taught in a religious text, I think it's important to note the fact that this is more linguistics than religion. See, other languages tend to have more words for our one-word love that describe different parts of love, and that can definitely help you to better understand what love is. So let's take these 3 Hebrew words, for example. The first is raya. Raya is friendship. This is a necessary part of any good romantic relationship. Next is ahava. Ahava is deep affection and commitment. This explains why one person would do anything for his or her significant other. And finally, there's dod. Dod is passionate love. Now, these 3 forms of love are regarded as flames in the book Song of Songs. And when all 3 flames are alight, the relationship is working. It's completely healthy, and it's completely loving. Now, it can take work to keep all 3 flames alive, but I think that it can help to know that they are 3 separate parts, three separate flames. It can help you not only to work on a relationship, but to truly appreciate the relationship and truly appreciate the fire that is created when all three flames are alight. Okay, so personally, I find that studying other languages can be quite helpful in understanding our own. So I'd like to present the Greek words for love. And in Greek, there are 4 words that all translate to the English love. These words are eros, agape, storge, and philia. Eros is the Greek word for romantic or sexual love. In my opinion, it's used very similarly to the Hebrew dode. Next is agape, or unconditional, all-consuming love. Agape is characterized by self-sacrifice, and in my opinion, it's used very similarly to the ahava love of the Hebrew language. I believe that agape is a form of love that can be tapped into and felt for any of our fellow human beings. The third Greek word for love is storge, which is a very wide-ranging form of love. It's a sense of natural bond with another person, and often occurs between a parent and their child and vice versa, but can also occur between close friends. Finally, there's philia, a brotherly love. Again, I believe that this form of love can truly connect us with any other human being on earth if we allow it to. These Greek words help to span the gap between romantic love and this more general love that I've been talking about that can connect us all. This general love, this combination of agape and philia, which finds its foundations in the 3 habits of the mind that I previously discussed, is at the heart of human connection. It's what brings us together. It fortifies our ability to make peace, and it encourages us to serve others. Love is a powerful connecting force that I hope you will allow to permeate your life and touch everyone around you. This is also the type of love that I've done the most thinking on throughout my life. I believe that both kinds of love are deeply connected, but the more general love is the one that people struggle to understand the most, and perhaps that's why it's always intrigued me so much. So what about my own experience? My own deep thinking and discoveries? Like I said, I'm no expert in any field, but I am a human being. I've experienced the almost magical powers of love. I've been loved, I have loved, and I've contemplated the vast mysteries of love. I may not be an expert, but I'd at least like to share my thoughts on this mysterious and beautiful topic. Now, I was raised a Catholic, and was therefore always taught that, like John says in his gospel, God is love. But I've always kind of struggled with that and thought about it throughout my life. I was recently on a retreat and was thinking to myself a lot about love and all of its inner workings and all of its magic and mysterious nature. And at one point on the retreat, I was supposed to be listening to another person's speech. I was really kind of thinking to myself, though, and tuning them out a little bit. And I was thinking about love and all of these experiences I've had with it. And naturally, I was trying to find some kind of God because I was on a retreat. And so I came to this conclusion, after all this thinking, that love is God. Love is my God. But right as that happened, probably one of the strangest things in my life occurred. And that is that right after I said that, love is God, I tuned into the speaker just for a split second and heard him say, God is love. So after that, I was blown away by this meditation on love and this great discovery I had made, and I couldn't stop thinking about it and spreading my ideas on that retreat. And I'd just like to say that, you see, to me, the only important part of religion is that idea that love is God. I don't need an afterlife. I'm perfectly happy with what I have here. I don't need an all-powerful being looking over me. All I really need or want is love. Because really, love is all there is. Love is all you need. Now, I'm not denying the existence of God here. I'm not an atheist. I don't want to discredit any beliefs. To me, the most important part that you find in any religion is its teachings on love, because if you look into them, they really are very beautiful teachings, and I encourage you to look into that. Now, if you can love on earth, then I promise you, you will be a happier and healthier person. And I can promise you that the people around you will feel your love. I can also promise you that because of those 3 habits that I discussed earlier, your ability to think interdependently, listen with understanding and empathy, and respond with wonderment and awe, you are capable of this love that I'm speaking of. So I implore you to allow the 3 habits to do what they will, and to allow your love to take over. Love is God. Love is the connecting force that binds us all together. If you love your neighbor will love you, even if they might have trouble showing it sometimes. And in this way, you will have opened a link that was there to begin with, and you will have facilitated the flow of love that exists between all of us. I know it's not always easy, and I know that it can be hard for some people to catch on to this idea of love, but I can tell you that all of our fellow human beings are capable of this love that I speak of. And I encourage you to start loving. Don't be afraid. Don't hold back. Just love, because love is all there is. Thank you.